that was nice.
Like many people, I believe the Beatles are the greatest band to ever walk the face of the earth. And since the advent of music rhythm games, I think it's been pretty well accepted that the holy grail of music licensing rights has been the Beatles. We talked about Guitar Hero 5 last week, so this week we're going to talk about the big release of Beatles Rock Band from Harmonix and EA. And these are the people that brought us the first two Rock Band games, and even before that, the very first Guitar Hero game before the split. And this is very much a Beatles experience. If you've been watching any kind of media, you've been seeing the onslaught of new Beatles advertising. It coincides with a re-release, remastered compendium of all the Beatles albums. And so it very much is about the experience, the story of the Beatles' career. And it takes away several things that we've grown accustomed to in the Rock Band franchise, like drum fills and a few other things. But it adds a more robust story mode. So now instead of starting out as a lowly band in a club and working your way to superstardom, you live the story of the Beatles. And there's a much bigger emphasis on visual representation of that. Dan, you are admittedly cool on the whole notion of rhythm music games. You've cooled a little bit, haven't you?
Not on music rhythm games, because Leap of the Ancients 2 comes out, I'm there.
Right, but specifically plastic instrument games, right?
I don't know, Conga Man 2 is pretty hot.
Donkey Konga?
Donkey Konga? Actually, I love the arcade version of that, but I'm
you're talking
right now.
about the Beatles Rock Band, which you played this week.
oh shit, I was supposed to play it?
It would have been helpful.
Yeah. I think, I may say several conflicting things, but pull out what you like and throw away the rest.
You say no.
I think it's an incredibly well-made game. Insanely well-made. In that, it really, just in what you described, it really does the way to do a Beatles video game justice, in that you playing the story of their careers in the venues that they played in, the songs per that era, fitting in like.
And I should also, real quick, before I clearly overlooked the biggest addition, which is the vocal harmonies, which it adds multiple microphone inputs, so you can harmonize with the Beatles. So that's a big part of their music too.
I only own a guitar from Guitar Hero 3, so that's how I experienced the game.
Sorry to.
And the animation, the opening animation, which we saw at E3, and throughout the game at the end, it's done by this commercial animation house called PsyOp that have won awards for some of their latest commercials, and it is like a work of art.
It really
the
is.
opening animation
Beautiful.
is a work of a short film that's phenomenal.
And the ending of the story mode continues that.
True, but the beginning is. Having said all this, it made me long for, and the problem is I love the first half of the Beatles' career. When they get into the weird psychedelic era, the more modern-y stuff, I lost interest, at least on the tracks they included in here. There are some tracks they didn't include that I can look forward to in DLC, hopefully. But while playing it, as great as it is, and as great as the Beatles is, and really, there is, because we never really talk about music on the show, there really is nothing in any other medium that you can compare. Like the Beatles are like as if George Lucas had made 40 Star Warses. You know what I mean? Like they have every single one of their things, songs, some people call them, were like insanely good. Like to this day, still sound current. Like insane. And it's amazing to be able to play those. But playing, playing throughout the whole story, I kind of was like getting that Guitar Hero fever, Rock Band fever of like, I was longing for playing Guitar Hero 5, which you guys got to play earlier in the week. Like it's like, I like this song, I want to play another song. But it was sort of all the same. So I kind of wish that it was DLC in a way. But it was cheaper.
You mean that the Beatles pack was downloadable for your average Rock Band
Exactly.
game.
But at the same time, it's an insanely well-made disc that is almost worth the price because they really do juice it up. But just what I enjoyed, I would have rathered more variety.
Okay. What did you think? And maybe you should say right off how big of a Beatles fan you are as a.
I'm a huge Beatles fan. I mean, that's the Beatles are the frickin' Beatles. Like, I mean, you can't not be a Beatles fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they're
I grew
like
up
bigger
to
than the Beatles.
I know.
Oh, wait.
I grew up listening to the Beatles because my parents listened to the Beatles, and they have ticket stubs from when they went and saw the Beatles in concert, and it's like, it's crazy town. And
that's where they saw them?
Dan, yeah, in Crazy Town. It's in Compton. But Dan is right. I mean, the game itself is such an amazing experience. But I did find myself wanting for more Beatles songs, because a lot of the Beatles songs that I really loved were, it was like, oh yeah, and it's really tough. With Guitar Hero, with Rock Band, you always get that like, well, I don't know this band, so I don't really know this song. But it's rare for me that I'd be like, oh, I love this band. Oh, I've never heard that song, or oh, that's like one of their like songs. This is about, I'd say 75% of the songs in here are like, yeah, and there's a good 35% of the songs in there that are like, I just gotta get through this so I can get to the next song because I don't really care about this or know about this.
And maybe that sounds like a bad percentage when you put it that way for you.
Well, but the whole point that I was excited about was that it's going to be it's going to be that one where every song is a Beatles song.
It's not the greatest hits album.
Right. Exactly.
It is for someone though. Like that's the thing. I was thinking how many someone like
but they have so many
got
that
their
would
own
be on the
different favorites.
Anyway, either way, great game. Super short. You can kind of play through it in one sitting almost.
Well, but that's not really what these are about.
No, but short enough that, if I look back through that list, here's what I want out of this game now. I've played through the story mode, and it was amazing. And I don't know if you guys looked at all the photos you unlocked and saw all
the movies.
Oh, amazing. Really cool the stuff that you unlock is, go back and watch that stuff and pick
even
this up.
The little bits that play right before your song starts of them starting in the studio,
stuff,
it's really cool.
There's a lot here to experience. My big question is, I go to a party and we're playing Rock Band 2. Is there a way for me to get these songs into Rock Band 2?
I was going to ask you that.
I don't know the answer to that.
Because
it's a good question.
I fear the answer is no. But I want it because I want to be able to play the Beatles songs when I'm playing Rock Band, because that's what Rock Band I think has well over Guitar Hero right now, is that everything that you own is there. It's in one place. You can download. It's just there.
Yeah.
To having to switch out to be like, oh well, I want to play,
Paperback Writer now.
Yeah, or Help. Was Help not in the game? Okay. So like, I want to play, Paperback Writer, or Day Trip or something. Okay, well, let's stop this game, put the other game in, start a new band, get into the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it
You're
was...
definitely, it's like, well, we're going to have Beatles night, so we'll have Beatles night, and we'll stick with Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's not enough songs for that to be
true. It does
true.
feel a little bit, and I hate to even raise this issue, but it feels a little bit like a money grab in the sense of, we're gonna give you everything.
So at least it wasn't the full price of a game.
But we're gonna give you everything. We're just gonna meet it out as we see fit.
Right.
You're gonna be able to download these full albums, but you're gonna have to pay.
But now, could you download those albums? Like, could you download the White Album into Rock Band 2?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't think so.
Because if the answer is yes, that could be cool.
I don't think so. I don't know the answer to that. We should find that out. But I actually really agree with you guys. I'm going to ask you a question. Did you guys have any weird, blurring, stuttering issue?
No.
Visually?
I played it. The one thing I will also say is I love Ringo. I don't know if he's technically the hardest drummer because I played through the game on Expert on drums.
He's notorious for being that.
There are some drum beats.
The whole game is it's actually the games that I preferred in the other Guitar Heroes and Rock Bands. It's chord. It's not. There's not a lot of
Well, that brings up the point that I was gonna make, which is here's a game where we started with the music and made a game rather than we're gonna make a game. What's the best music to fit into this game?
Right.
And I think that as we've gone on, as these rhythm music games have matured, it's gotten to be a little bit less about the game and more about the music. But
I agree with that, man.
But when they started, when the first few Guitar Heroes came out, all the songs that were chosen. I mean, a lot of it was what could we get, sure, but was like, what is the coolest for the game?
Right.
And it's very telling that this game is called Beatles Rock Band and not Rock Band Beatles, because that's how this game is presented. It is a fantastic Beatles game. If you're a Beatles fan, it's a fantastic game.
It's a must get.